don't have the problem we have and haven't had it for 20 years, they can have 2 beers, 3 beers, they can have a whole fifth, wake up the next day, feel like crap, but not have that physical dependency on the alcohol. So that's what makes it tough for them to understand. You know, they look at us and go, well, why just don't drink then? You know, but they don't understand how deep we're already into it. That is not an option for us. We can't just not drink.
Yeah, it's so tough to have somebody look at you like that. Mm-hmm. That looks at you and says, why didn't you stop? Or why did you take that drink?
Yeah,
Holy Christ, I didn't want to.
I had to.
And I didn't know I was drunk like that.
Right. But you start...
You know, a girl of mine, when I went in with the pancreatitis and into the coma, you know, I'm going to try to remember this. I believe it was after I came out of the coma from the septicism in my body. I went septic. It was a while later, after I promised my sister, God bless her, that loves me so much that she keeps saving my life over and over. I just had to run up to the hospital. I didn't feel real well, wasn't feeling good. And they took blood, and I knew I hadn't drank for at least a day because I didn't feel good. And this doctor comes on and he's like, your blood alcohol is 0.182. And I'm like, it's impossible. He's like, no, your body's, you know, in his opinion, was making alcohol for itself, which I didn't know it could do. But it'll take the sugars in your body and be like, hey, you're dying here. We'll make a little for you. Have you went through that?
I probably have. I wasn't aware of that, though.
Yeah, and again, not an excuse because I could have been drinking that day also. But I was 99% sure that I hadn't had anything to drink because, you know, I didn't feel good. So, yeah, we just don't digest. Once you get so saturated, we don't digest the alcohol the same way.
Right. It's tougher for it to leave the body, and it's scary, man. It really is. And you know, we've talked about you know, the pills. We've talked about the drinking. We've talked about the sadness. We've talked about your relapse a little bit, and you know what you thought turning to a friend would do for you. And obviously, you know, the alcohol is not really your friend. And I think you're on the right path to wanting to find a purpose. And like I said, that's what did it for me. Getting the good advice.
I will tell you that I need a path. Like I waited for this all day.
Yeah, and that's a good sign. You know, because
before I waited to not drink all day, and now it's late at night. I'm not going anywhere. The stores are closed. I appreciate doing this at 9 o'clock at night. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, I waited to do this all day today. I thought nothing outside of my podcast that I want to get brutal honesty out there, to talk to you tonight and get 213 out there, or 217, excuse me. Yeah, I know, right? I was thinking the room downstairs again. It's 113. But anyhow, sorry about that. You know, to get us out there because people need us. I needed you today. I've needed you all day. I needed you yesterday. And this podcast is my friend. It's what I had to have today to stay sober.
Yeah,
it's not a meeting. I didn't need a meeting. I needed this. I needed you. I needed the people that are going to listen to this,
right, and
to stay sober today.
And there's somebody out there, Jamie, that's listening that can identify with exactly what you're saying, and really maybe now have a little bit of hope. And you've not yet met this person. You know, maybe you'll meet him at the UFAM rally. That's coming up in September. It was supposed to be in May, but they moved it, of course. And there's a link to that on our website if you want to learn more about that, 217recovery.com. We're going to be a sponsor. They have us as a different sponsor this year, which I got to send an email and be like, yo, we need to be a media sponsor. But We'll have Scott Massey on the show, and he'll talk more about UFAM as we got a few months about that. But yeah, I mean, maybe you'll meet him there, Jamie, or maybe you'll
I hope so. I hope there's a veteran listening to us tonight that says, I know how that guy feels, because I feel the same way. And the Brutal Honesty website and podcast, is going to be. I'm not saying that anybody can't call us. Anybody that needs us can call us. But I'm going to focus on veterans. I'm tired of us dying constantly. Dying by our own hands, man.
Mm-hmm.
22 a day.
Damn.
That is a staggering amount. So I needed you today for this. I hope somebody tomorrow needs me for Brutal Honesty.
Yeah.
You know?
They will. And as long as you remain sober, we will get this going. And because I was thinking about it earlier, I'm like, man, I should make him have like some time sober first. But then I thought, you know what? Who am I, like to tell you how much time you need?
The only thing that's going to make me have time sober is 217 podcast and focusing on Brutal Honesty.
Yeah.
That's it, man.
That's what I was
It's not
like.
an AA meeting.
Yeah.
It's not an NA meeting. This is what I have to have in order to do and accomplish my goals.
Yeah, I think it would be a great fit, and I think it'd be welcoming to some people. And, as I've gotten, like you said earlier, 16 months now, I'm starting to move off into a different realm of my recovery. And, you're still very early in early recovery. So,
a new recovery. Right.
And there's nothing wrong with that, man.
Which is great, because I'm going to ask you publicly to be my sponsor, man.
Absolutely.
I don't have one. You promise?
Yeah. Absolutely, man. Be my honor.
Thank you.
No, let's just get that book bought.
I need you, man.
I know you do, brother. And
I don't know what a sponsor is. I don't know much about stuff, but I know when I was looking forward to this. Excuse me. Sorry about. God damn. You got a little teary there, bud. But I know that I need you, and God's put you in my life for a reason. We talked about it all day yesterday, and we never said like a funny word about when we bring up God in our sobriety. We say funny shit about everything else, but we don't say it about our God and our sobriety. So I wanted to call you out tonight, and I want to make sure you call me out every day for the rest of my life.
Okay. I'll definitely do that.
So you're announcing publicly that you're my sponsor.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Are you sponsoring anybody else?
I am not.
Good.
So, but
and I'll go far enough. I promise you to go far enough in sobriety. And someday somebody's going to ask me to be their sponsor.
Yeah.
So.
And just be brutally honest with me. There's nothing that you need to lie to me about. I've been
absolutely.
there. Been there. I've done it, man. And to tell you the truth, I was feeling a little bad that I gave you money yesterday, and it wasn't because it has nothing about the money. It was just about, man, did I enable him? Did I walk him into oncoming traffic? I'm almost, I was like, did I do something that I shouldn't have done?
The best thing about that money that you gave me yesterday was my daughter and what's her cousin, I guess. I don't know where I fit into that. Is we got to stop down at the gas station, and I shouldn't be chewing, I know that, but I got to use the other $12 of that to get them 2 Gatorades. I got 2 Coca-Colas, but I got to buy it,
Mm-hmm. That's good.
So no, you didn't enable. You did enable me. If I wanted to do that, I would have been able to do it. And I seen that, and I seen the resistance when you did that for me.
Because it wasn't about the money. It was about am I walking him into oncoming traffic here with this? And I've been on the other end of it
too.
And that was really weighing on my mind, And I got home and I talked to my girlfriend about it, and I was like, I think I did something bad, She's like, what? I told her, I was like, I gave Jamie, a couple $, and I don't know if he went and used that and is drinking right now, and I feel like that's my responsibility, that's my fault. And she let me know, well, no, it's not your fault, and you're just trying to help a friend out. And I was like, yeah, that's true. And of course, how I think about it.
So happy to call you this morning.
Yeah, I was like, what's he doing?
Sorry for cutting you off again. Go ahead. No, but that's why I was go ahead and call you this morning.
But yeah, the whole helping a friend out, and and she told me, she's like, well, even if he decided to do that, that's not on you. He would have figured out how to do that regardless. And I've done similar things like that to my mom, where she would say, don't use this 20 for alcohol, and I would promise her I'm not using that 20 for alcohol, but I would use that 20 to put it in my gas tank, so I wouldn't have to use my own money in my gas tank, and I would use my own money to buy alcohol. So I mean, in a way, I didn't use the 20 that she handed me for alcohol, but because she gave me the 20, I was able to buy alcohol. So I mean, yep. I don't know. That's just. I'm so glad I don't have to live that life anymore. I'll tell you that.
So no, you don't, because remember I said my ex-wife was giving me something for my daughter.
Mm-hmm.
And I just talked to my girlfriends about this tonight. She gave me her food card thing, which I've never had to deal with, because, I own the company, I do a lot of things. Mm-hmm. And I've always had means to money, especially money to do what I want to do it. But, I didn't know that food card was only for food. I know now, and I feel foolish about that. But so we went in, right. It says EVD or fridge card or something like that. And thank God for my ex-wife right now. She's done a lot of good things for me and with my kids and stuff. But, I talked to my girlfriends tonight, and they're going to be a big part of Brutally Honest. And I say, I was sweating. I felt like I was stealing food, And they're like, well, did you buy stuff that, wasn't right? I was like, no, it's not like I went and got steak and shrimp. I bought cereal and eggs and butter, But, yeah, if I wanted to, I could have turned the money you gave me into alcohol, without a doubt.
Yeah.
And when I got out of the car, you said, are you going in there to buy alcohol? And I said no, and I didn't. But ever since the relapse, I feel like when I drive, I'm jittery. When I'm outside, I'm jittery. Like, I feel weird ever since the relapse,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Especially after my girlfriend had called you, and I was upset with her. But at the same time, super happy she did, because that made you come get me. And I didn't want to look at you, man. I didn't want to look at you. I've been trying for 16 months, plus 2 days, whatever you have, beat this demon. And I didn't. So it was very embarrassing,
Yeah, don't.
It was very embarrassing to call that friend instead of you.
Yeah, I'm a better friend than alcohol, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, you are.
I'm not even
Big
bragging. I mean, that's just facts right there.
I promise you that I'll pick you over that, and that's why you're my sponsor now, and that's why we're going to do amazing